Welcome to another video. In today's video, by the title, we are doing our WrestleMania 40 reaction and review. Man, obviously we're just now filming right after the main event of Night 2. Absolutely phenomenal Night 2. We'll get into that. But yeah, overall thoughts on the card and just how everything played out.
Absolutely amazing. This is what we have to look forward to in the Renaissance era, in the Triple H era, in the Cody era, whatever you want to call it, then I think we're all in for a treat. We had tons of title changes. We had every storyline we wanted to end in. The people who we wanted to win won. We had some surprises. We had some returns. We have some upcoming people coming. NXT's looking very, very good. Let us know if you want to see a review for that as well. We'll do that. But just absolutely amazing WrestleMania weekend. I'm almost 30 years old. I've seen a lot of Manias, but this is top 3, maybe top 2 ever. Maybe at the time, top 1. I don't know.
Yeah. Starting off on night 1, where it was start off with Rhea Ripley retaining and defending against Becky Lynch. This was a very, very good match to start off the show. Really enjoyed it. Both had very cool entrances. Rhea had a live performance of the band Who Does Brutality. Becky came out. She had it was kind of themed around her book, so a lot of her gear had pages of from the book and stuff like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, this is my match of the night, night 1. Just really amazing. I was kind of questioning if Becky was going to win, but Rhea came out on top. I was happy with that choice. She looks very strong. Happy to see where it goes from here, and now we officially have a new megastar of the WWE.
The next step after that, we had the 6-pack tag team ladder match where A-Town Down Under get the SmackDown tag team belts, and then Awesome Truth get the Raw tag team belts. How are we feeling?
I would have preferred, different teams, but I also feel like these are transition tag team champions. They'll be there for a little bit, and then the team who they want to get it will get it another way. But I thought it was going to be very hectic, hard to keep up with. We've seen a few of these type of matches where just almost too many people, and very few pulled it off to make it look really good. But this came out really nice. No complaints really. They didn't do it super fast paced, and everybody kind of let each other get their spots in. A really good match. Happy with the winners. Awesome Truth, very cool moment for R-Truth at the end there. And yeah, same thing for Grayson Waller and Theory. They deserve it. They were workhorses recently at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then A-Town Down Under. They get the win pretty quick, honestly. I was kind of surprised because they kind of sneak up and just immediately grab it. But then I'm kind of oh wow, that's kind of crazy. And then they go for the second one, and then Grayson Waller gets put through a ladder, pretty much putting him out the match entirely. And then Awesome Truth, R-Truth, does his 5 moves of doom from his childhood hero John Cena, gets the belts down, and then Awesome Truth your Raw tag team belts. So yeah, that was a very good match. Really enjoyed this one as well. Next, after that, we had Rey Mysterio and Andrade win over Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Who do you have, or how did you enjoy this match?
Yeah, this match, little bit of it being on the downside. Not a bad match for sure, but my expectations were, a little low, and it kind of met those expectations right on the dot, basically. Not that it was a bad match, but it was just kind of what I expected, I guess.
Yeah, it was alright. This was like you said, this is one I was kind of, after the 2 matches we just had, kind of the lull period, the cool down match. We did get Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson interference to help Rey and Andrade win, which is pretty cool. But yeah, really good match, or a pretty good match, and yeah. After that, we had probably the most disappointing match on the card, where Jey Uso beats Jimmy Uso. I'll let you give this one, because this is one we both talked about being a potential show stealer, being the dark horse of the entire card, really, and being this potential 5-star match with obviously the chemistry of 2 brothers being put together. Didn't connect on the night, though.
Yeah, 2 of my favorite matches going into this Mania. Obviously, Cody Roman was going to be part of that, but outside of that, I had Bayley Io, and then I had Jay versus Jimmy. I thought this was going to be a crazy match. I thought, the way they hyped it up, Jay, and I remember Jay specifically saying that they were going to make this a movie, and it was going to be an emotional movie is the words that he used. But it just wasn't that, unfortunately. And maybe it was like a time thing. Maybe it was I don't know exactly. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But it just didn't hit the way that I hoped it would.
Yeah, it was very much memed up to the point that like they have a very similar game to each other, and obviously it kind of makes sense. They're twin brothers, and that's kind of how they've done things for their entire career. But when they started trading the super kicks, I know it was gonna happen, but the fact that you did about 15 super kicks back to back to back to back to back is a bit ridiculous, and that was just a very like I was laughing because it was so bad. That's like how I look at it. Kind of pretty disappointing, and just wish it was better. Maybe we get a rematch sometime down the line. Maybe next Mania we see this happen again, and maybe they go all out for it. But yeah. Next up, we had Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi defeat Damage Control, and what a absolute entrance for the babyface team. They all looked like superstars. All looked amazing. How'd you feel about this?
Yeah, really cool. They all came out kind of superhero themed in a way. Bianca had like the Cyclops glasses on. Jade had the face paint going down the middle, and I forget what Naomi's was exactly, but she was, fit the theme as well. But like you said, really cool entrance. Jade always has a really cool entrance. That's going to be like a thing going forward for sure, and she deserves it. But quick match. I believe this is one of the quickest matches of all of Mania, basically.
Yeah, came in at 8 minutes.
Yeah, basically just a Jade showcase. Showcase her power, her speed. Same for basically everybody. Everybody got to showcase a little bit, show off a little bit. Damage Control loses, obviously. Jade stands up on top. The big three, as they call themselves, stand strong, and I hope this is kind of like a thing going forward, like a faction versus faction thing.
Yeah, I think that's something we'll kind of blend into going into like future pay-per-view builds. Is like this will be the big three of the tag team division. They're gonna be very strong champions. I could potentially see maybe Bianca and Naomi, or Bianca and Jade, maybe going for the tag team belts and maybe take them off of Kabuki Warriors. But yeah, very good match. Enjoyed it. They did what they had to do, made Jade look like the absolute megastar she is, and everybody got their time, and they had their spots, and pretty good match. Next up, my match of the night for night one, Sami Zayn defeats the Ring General Gunther, breaking his record at 667 days, and man, what a phenomenal match this was.
Yeah, just, your David versus Goliath. How can he win it? There's no way he's gonna win it. He's been beaten all match. It's over. The match is done. But somehow he comes through and he fights through and he wins. Just, oh my God. Just even the ending, the brain buster on the top rope. Oh my God. I seen the clip of like the match they had back in the day where that was like the thing that he did. He did that again in the WWE on the big main stage. You never see that move done like ever, especially in WWE. And he did it really good considering you had a massive man on your shoulders. But yeah, oh my God, like you said, great match. Not my match of the night because I was really into the Rhea, Becky. I was really into that one. I love the story going into that. But if this was definitely the second one there.
Yeah. Then also to add, you had Sami Zayn's entrance, which was very cool. He starts off by talking to his wife and kid, and kind of saying like, "I'm gonna do this for you guys," and tells them to go to the back to make sure that the son doesn't see it. And then he walks by, he sees Chad Gable. He says, "Let's do it." Chad says, "I'm not gonna join you out there tonight because you can do this by yourself. You always could have." And he says, "You do owe me a favor for this." And then after that, he comes out, or about to come out, he sees Kevin Owens. They share a moment. Kevin Owens proceeds, lets him go out there and have his moment. And yeah, just a phenomenal match. Just probably going to be a 5-star match if I had to guess. Just a lot of good, these are two of the best guys in the company when it comes to just in-ring ability. And they absolutely had phenomenal chemistry together. So yeah, looking forward to what Sami has to offer down the line. But yeah, going into our next match, we had the main event of night one. And the Bloodline make it Bloodline rules for the main event of night two because Rock and Roman do get the win here. How'd you feel about this?
Yeah, really good match. Came about how I expected it to go. I expected a little bit more, maybe run-ins or something like that, and there was none. Pretty, I'm not gonna say clean win. But The Rock basically, you know, the ref was starting to do a count out as they all went to the outside. He tells the ref, you know, if you do finish that count out, you're fired. And that basically, from that point on, made it no disqualification at that point. Mm-hmm. Well, at least for one side, for their side. But, you know, they do end up coming out on top. Seth gave it his all, got beat down basically all match. That basically leaves him going into night 2, which is versus Drew week. And we'll talk more about that very shortly. And then Cody takes the pin from The Rock. He takes The Rock bottom, and he gets pinned. And now his bloodline rules going into night 2, which we'll get into now.
Yep, and then night 2 we start off with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, where Drew does manage to get the win here. Very good match to start off night 2. Both had special interests. Drew had like the Scottish Philadelphia bagpipe crew and stuff like that. They came out. Seth had his stuff. But yeah, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Just told a great story of, you know, Seth being just beat down and basically exactly what Drew didn't want to happen happened. Mm-hmm. He wanted to have a fair match versus Seth where he was fully healthy and there was no excuses why he won. He wanted to be in front of a crowd, and basically just everything went wrong for him. Seth comes in weak. He beats him easy, as Punk kind of says on commentary. It's like, oh, you beat, you know, a weak man. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean as much. The whole match is kind of taunting Punk, making fun of him. He's just like rubbing stuff in his face, you know what I mean? Just like doing everything he can, doing his heel work, you know, but he ends up winning. He has a huge moment in the ring. He celebrates, you know, he has a title. And then, you know, I'll let you finish what happens from here.
Yeah, so he he goes over to his wife or his girlfriend and, you know, he shares the title with her. And then he looks over to his left and he sees Phil on commentary and he wants to get in his face. So he climbs on the table, very much gloating into his face. He eventually stands up, does a little DX chop to him. CM Punk has enough, sweeps his legs out from under him. He falls on his back. CM Punk takes off his arm brace, which I don't know if this means that he was always healed or something, or like, I don't know what the plan is there. But he takes off the arm brace, hits him with the arm brace, pretty much knocks him down. And then the Judgment Day music hits. Damian Priest comes down. CM Punk starts laughing his ass off. Damian Priest gets him in the ring, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, wins with the South of Heaven, and Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
Immediately just takes the moment away from it. Like I said, basically everything goes wrong for Drew. I believe this is going to set up, I would assume, for him to win the title back at Clash at the Castle. That's very, you know, future moving forward, mm-hmm. But, you know, we got a story to tell in between with him and Punk that I think will take that time up.
Yeah.
Hopefully this means Punk comes back. You know, I doubt he's going to come back soon, but relatively soon, at least maybe the next month, maybe 2 months. Hopefully he'll be back in wrestling shape. But yeah, really cool moment there where, you know, it was the moment where Punk's kind of stomping him out and then the music hits, the camera's on his face and you just see like Punk turn and then the grin on his face, knowing what's about to happen. Gives him a few more stomps until Damian Priest comes and he hits the South of Heaven and wins it. Like, just a crazy moment, crazy time that Damian Priest is your heavyweight champion leaving WrestleMania.
And not only that, it's also just tells a good story as well, because this entire time Drew is telling Seth to make sure you are focused on this match. I will beat you if you're not focused. And he did. He beats him like that. But at the same time, there's the story of Drew being now more focused on CM Punk. Oh, no. And then eventually his, 9-second reign or his, few-minute reign is ultimately ended because of his greed for CM Punk and went to gloat in front of him. So it's a pretty good story to be told there as well. So kind of just something that if you're watching throughout the weeks, you can pick up. And I'm glad it had a big payoff at Mania.
Yeah.
But going up next, we had the Pride defeat the Final Testament in a Philadelphia street fight. And before the match, we had a special guest referee. Bubba Ray Dudley was there. Why? Don't know. I knew he was on a Legends contract. Did I think he was going to be a special guest referee? Not at all. But he was. But how'd you enjoy this match, though?
Yeah, I mean, pretty cool. You know, obviously they bought him out because it was Philly, ECW. Yeah. Paul Heyman got inducted. That's the whole reason why he's there at the end of the day. But he got his spots in that we wanted to get from. He does. Well, he doesn't do it, but he gets the street profits to do the what's up. Yeah, he does what you wanted him to do. Cool moment. Where Karrion Kross kind of gets in his face, and then he sticks his hand in his pocket. He puts the glasses on, and that's kind of where Bubba Ray Dudley takes over rather than referee Dudley. But surprised me for sure. I guess not surprising, but this is kind of one I had rated lower. I didn't think I would really care for it, but honestly, beat my expectations. For really sure. Good. Didn't disappoint whatsoever. Had fun watching it. And yeah.
Yeah, even B-Fab and Scarlett had their moment as well, going through the table after a leg sweep from B-Fab. You had AOP get their time in. They started off pretty dominant. One funny thing was they did have a little bit of a botch at the end where they put Karrion Kross on the table, but Bobby doesn't lock in one of the sides. So as soon as he puts him on the table, he just falls straight through. And you can tell the crowd's like, oh, and it's kind of a botch, but they're like, all right, let's do it again. So they got another table out. Montez lets a frog splash through. But yeah, very good match. Exceeded my expectations for this one, but yeah, moving on from that one, we had LA Knight versus AJ Styles, and LA Knight does get the win here. Pretty good match as well.
Yeah, this was another one that I thought, maybe it would be ranked a little bit lower. It did beat those expectations a little bit. Still probably my worst match of night 2. But yeah, no issues at all with this match at the end of the day, though, even with that being said. But LA Knight gets the moment. AJ puts him over. I think that's a great moment for LA Knight. Obviously, this is going to push him forward towards a title shot somewhere. Don't know which one yet. Could be Intercontinental with Sammy, since we have a draft coming up. Could be Logan, the few that people kind of wanted since Logan, became champion. But yeah, really cool that AJ put him over, and LA Knight looks like even more of a star. And maybe he lost a little bit of that, heat leading into Mania, but I feel like now he probably has all of that back, and, hopefully have a good story for him.
Yeah, I wish this match we did get a little bit of blood, because, the entire feud is just there's real hatred between the two, but we didn't get that, but to me it doesn't really take away from this match. But yeah, really good match, really enjoyed it. AJ got his time in, and you had a few moments where he thought he was going to win, obviously, but LA Knight, in the end, does come out on top. Next up, we had the triple threat for the United States champion, where Logan Paul does retain the belt. How'd you feel about this one?
This one was surprisingly really good. No, not surprisingly, I guess, but the way they just did it was really good. I didn't think they would end it kind of the way they ended. I love, before, the match happened, obviously, Randy kind of told everybody, I have something planned for this match, and it's either going to hit and it's going to be amazing, or it's going to be one of the worst things I ever did. Yeah. And he hit it, and it was good. It was very good. But Kevin Owens does a pop-up power bomb, and he kind of falls into a RKO. It's kind of hard to explain. You're going to have to kind of just see it yourself. But it was really cool. I loved it. But Logan Paul, once again, he just impressing.
One of the best heels as well.
Yeah.
That's how you win as well. After Randy hits the RKO, he throws Randy out the ring, hits the frog splash on Kevin to get the win. Nothing we've got to add. Well, there's another Prime bottle out this year. And, we see it. Randy's about to go for the punt, a move we haven't seen in so many years. And then the Prime bottle takes Logan out the ring again, reveals himself to be I Show Speed. After he takes the mask off, he starts barking at Randy. Randy just gives him a big kick right into the midsection. And then Randy puts him on the announce table, barks in his face, hits the RKO on the announce table to send him out the match, which is very funny. Very cool for I Show Speed, a very young guy, obviously, to have a cool moment at the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So, really funny moment there. But next up, we had a match you said you're looking forward to the most, and that is Bayley versus Io, where Bayley does finish her story, and she wins the women's championship, and she can finally say she won a champion at WrestleMania.
Bayley is one of my favorites of all time. I've always said that since I've started watching wrestling again. And yeah, she's just great. She deserves it. Really cool moment. Entrance, amazing. The new intro song, the new entrance song, didn't care for it too much. Maybe I gotta listen to it a few more times and maybe it'll kind of grow on me a little bit. But oh my god, this match though. This match just absolutely crushed it. It told a beautiful story of, a friendship ending that, once started so good. All were champions at one point, or leading that way at least. Bayley won the Rumble. But they couldn't keep their faction together, and just amazing match. Like, there's literally nothing I can say that will, like, tell you how good this match was. 5 stars for me. I'm not gonna say match of the night because we have the main event coming up, but very, very good. If you want to talk about just wrestling, this was the best wrestling match of the night, I would say. But for the show, WWE style matches, it has to be the main event, which we'll get into. But just great moment for Bayley. I'm super happy for her. One of my favorites of all time, and I'm happy to see what she's gonna do with this potentially new role model gimmick. If you paid attention to her intro, that's what it was kind of saying on there. So I guess we'll kind of see this new role model character kind of come to life. But very excited for her future. And definitely put a smile on my face when she won.
Yeah. And there's one point where Bayley goes for the first roast plate, and then Io kind of like, I don't know how she does. I think she does like a handstand in like flip out of it, which is very unique. I haven't seen that before. And then also Io's, like, the way Io ends up losing this match is she hits one moonsault, she goes for the pin, doesn't get it. She does a standing moonsault, hits that, does one off the middle rope, hits that, goes for the third one off the top. Bayley rolls out the way, does roast plate for the win. But yeah, really good match. Really enjoyed this one. Told the story that everybody wanted to see. The crowd was really into it as well. The "We Want Bayley" chants was there. So had that NXT vibe from the match with Sasha. So really good match. Kind of wish Sasha was there to maybe help her out but unfortunately things don't work out how you want sometimes. But it is time for the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And we'll start from the entrance. Cody Rhodes' entrance, super badass. Just comes out with the Tron is like this war field where you have the Cody Rhodes logo on the flag, and it's a war torn. He comes out with this super cool mask as he raises from the ground.
It was like a Statue of Liberty skull head, is the way I've seen it.
Yeah, it's kind of like just the Nightmare logo. But yeah, then Brandy comes out, walks him down to the ring, or she goes back. And then Roman comes out to another orchestra, which was absolutely amazing, with a live rendition of Roman's theme song. They come out, and how did you enjoy this?
It told just a great story at the end of the day. That's what this whole match was going to be based off of, no matter what. It was going to be about the story, finish the story. We've heard that for a whole year going into this. And that's exactly what happened. Cody does finish the story. He does win. But, that we knew, everyone in the world knew who was watching this, that a whole bunch of stuff was going to happen. What? We didn't exactly know, but we just knew, stuff was going to happen. And boy, did it.
Yeah.
First off, we have Cody about to win the match. He hits the 3 crossroads. Roman's down. Jimmy comes out. Knocks him off. He goes in the super kick. He does all of that. Jay comes out. Jimmy meets him kind of halfway up the entrance ramp. They brawl for a little bit. Then Jay spears him off the entrance ramp through 2 tables. Really cool spot. Didn't expect that spot. So it's kind of, just didn't expect it, like I said.
No.
Then next, I believe it's
Solo.
Solo.
Yeah.
He comes out as Cody's about to do another crossroads, I believe. He comes, hits him with the spike as he's about to do it. Cody kicks out still after putting Roman on top of him. He picks him up again, does the spike spear combo, kicks out again, and then I'll let you finish up on who comes out from here.
So after that, they're about to go for another one, but then the trumpets start playing, and it's John Cena. He comes out. They trade blows for a second. AA to Solo. He sends him out. Hits another AA through the table. Hits an AA on Roman. And then the final boss plays. Oh. Sad how it ends, Rock comes out. He meets face to face. And for the first time in 11 years, we get a face to face of Cena and The Rock in the ring again. And Cena's about to hit him. Rock catches him, goes for the rock bottom, connects, and we think that's it. Rock starts gloating. He gets the weight belt out, looks at Mama Rhodes, and then as he's about to hit Roman with it, boom, the Undertaker comes out.
No. The Shield music hits first.
The Shield comes. Yeah, so the Shield comes out. The Shield music starts playing, and everybody's like, "What?" They're looking in the stands to see where they're at. Seth Rollins comes out, gets in the ring. He's about to attack Rock, but then Roman hits him with a Superman punch, leaves him in the ring, and then as that's happening, then the Undertaker comes out, chokeslams the Rock, takes him out of it, and then you're just left with Roman, Cody, and Seth in the ring. Roman gets the chair. He has two options, either Cody or Seth. Now Seth is in the Shield gear, and it's a callback to the spot where Seth eventually dismembers the Shield, where he hits Roman in the back. Roman takes his revenge, hits Seth in the back, and then after that, Cody finally gets his moment, and he wins the belt after 3 Crossroads. And man, what an absolute moment.
Yeah, just, the emotion in the ring. He calls out Bruce Pritchard. He calls out Triple H to the ring to give him the love. He goes out to the outside, gives Michael Cole some love. And yeah, just everyone congratulating the whole locker room of people who were beat up by the bloodline, essentially. Your Randy Orton, your Sami Zayn, your Kevin Owens.
LA Knight.
Everybody who was beat up, basically.
Yeah.
They were all there. Mama Rose in the ring. Brody Lee's son in the ring. That was another thing. Brandy also was in the entrance with him as well, and she was with him when he won, obviously. Just a really cool moment, just a happy moment. Like, you can't help but smile when he finally got that 1, 2, 3 and the belt touched his hands. Like, you couldn't help but smile. But just a really cool moment. Just,
everything we wanted to happen, it happened. We had the run-ins. The run-ins felt perfect, and they felt aligned. They made sense. And then, Cody finally gets the belt, cries a little bit. Or not cries, but the few tears you can see come down the face. And then the first person he gives the belt to is Mama Rhodes. And just an absolute amazing moment of Cody. This is basically the signature of this is the new era. Cody and Triple H share a handshake and a hug. And yeah, it's just an absolute beautiful moment. And just this is what professional wrestling is all about. The big stories, it's a love story at the end of the day. Sometimes it takes a little longer than others, but eventually we did get the beautiful ending.
And Dusty is somewhere smiling that his boy just main evented WrestleMania twice, won the title, beats Roman, and Rhodes is finally a WWE World Champion.
Yeah, when Cody first gets the belt, he goes on top of the turnbuckle, and the first thing he does is look up. He says a few words. I can't really make out what he says, but yeah, just a phenomenal moment. I'm so glad Cody finally has it done. I had the nervous jitters, going into this match, because you never know with WWE booking. Maybe when we thought we were in the 9th inning, maybe we're still in the 7th inning, and we still had some time to go. But it was still the 9th inning, and Cody hits the home run walk-off win. So, very much enjoyed this. What was your overall match of the WrestleMania weekend?
No, I'm going to exclude the Cody match for this, because, that's going to be a biased one a little bit. So you just have to exclude that one. But I'm 100% going Bayley Io. Just amazing story they told in the match, outside of the match. I wish they were able to have more time to build a little bit more leading into Mania, because obviously The Rock's gonna take a lot of time. Cody's it just kind of sucked. Bad spot for them, bad timing for them.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off amazingly, and we got what we wanted at the end of the day. I am curious kind of what this means for Io, where does this take her, being that we have Damage Control, but the Kabuki Warriors are the champions. Dakota Kai's kind of on her own a little bit, so maybe they become the next tag team with each other for the foreseeable future. But yeah, kind of curious what she goes into, what storyline she'll kind of start, because I do want her to still be prominent on TV, because she's amazing. But yeah, just so many questions after Mania, so many answers after Mania. future booking that, you start thinking in your head like, oh, they could do this match, Cody's gonna feud with him, and it's just a lot of things. Stories ended, stories starting. One of the greatest times of professional, or the greatest time of professional wrestling.
But yeah, that is WrestleMania 40 concluded. Genuinely, last year I thought I may have seen the best Mania of all time. There's so many great matches. And obviously people always go back to WrestleMania 17 and 18 and stuff like that, and they'll always try to make that argument, but I wasn't around for that. I can't give a real, response to that, but these past two Manias have been nothing short of phenomenal. They have the big fight feel, the big grand stages, and then you have your big moments. You have your storylines that have been building for some, few months, few weeks, but also you have the one that everybody really was focusing on, which was a whole year in the making. After losing last year in the main event, comes back and gets it done on the second try. But yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. Whatever people call this era, the Triple H era, the Renaissance era, this will be the greatest era of professional wrestling, I think. Obviously, it's just now starting, really, but I do truly think that this is only the start of this humongous peak that we're going to get from WWE and just professional wrestling in general.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. I will be doing a stream tomorrow for Monday After Mania, or the Raw After Mania, so if you want to stop by and watch that, feel free to come along. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.